Welcome guys to another episode of Nerds for Life SuperCoach. I'm your host Peter, and what a year it has been. I've had a much better week this week. Still shit, so don't get me wrong, still not great, still not where I want to be, but for the first time in 2026 I have seen green arrows for my rank. For the first time. Holy crap, I've also won 4 out of 8 leagues, which is actually not too bad. I've already burned through a couple of my trades. I will go through what I have done this week. Now, we've got injuries. We've got some teams already announced. We've got rookies that I want to focus on, and some that I think you should fade, and some of the primos that you should be targeting this week, as well as in the weeks to come. But and some DPP updates as well. We've got that all coming up. But before we do, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Spotify, make sure to give us a like as well. On Instagram, I've got Facebook, I've got X, all of that stuff, and TikTok as well, of course, because I'm posting captain videos, updates. A lot of the pre-season stuff's usually the better things, I have to admit. I have a lot of pre-season insights as to positional changes and whatnot, so make sure to subscribe, like all those channels, just to stay in touch and keep up to date with things. For my week, I scored 2,254. Not, as I said, not amazing, not horrible. Finn Callahan has been absolutely disgusting. I just want to point out how bad of a pick that was. He has gone on to score, since I brought him in 2 weeks ago, he has gone on to score a whopping 65 and 66 in his last 2 games, which has been thrilling, absolutely thrilling to have on field. But his upcoming run is why I brought him in. Gold Coast, Essendon, West Coast, Brisbane, Melbourne, St Kilda. The St Kilda game is probably the only one where he might receive a tag. So he's got a 5-game stretch where he won't. I could see him scoring quite well. His break even is 189, so he's not really a target to bring in right now. He probably drops 40k, which will put him into the 400s, which is fantastic because I bought him for 100k more. But for those who don't have him, you do get to jump on, which is awesome. I did forget, we do have questions coming up. You guys did submit some, not as many this week as previous weeks. Maybe you're all over it, but we do have some questions to get through. But before we get to that, let's go through the league winner. So, every week, I do discuss who the winner was, so let's go down. You can still join, by the way. 514111 is the Nerds for Life SuperCoach league. It's the open league. Catastrophe is still coming first in that. Ranked 51 overall. Did he bring in Sardis? He did! I hope... Now, I'm sorry, I did kind of go off last week on a bit of a tangent that your name was I can't pronounce it. Catastrophe, but I can't. But you didn't have Tsartas. Now you've brought him in. So it fits your team name. But that 50% time on ground was horrible. I'm so glad I didn't bring him in. I'm sorry that I told you had to. You probably brought him in for the cash generation anyway, not because I told you to. But like I said last week, I'm just ignoring anyone that is above 200k and below premium. They don't exist to me for the rest of the year after the absolute terrible start to my season I went way too mid-price, so happy. Pumpies Pansies by Caden, 2,458 was the overall rank of 3,166. Went up 12,000 spots. Huge. Absolutely huge. He took... Who did he have his vice captain? Oh, yeah, his vice captaincy on Brodie Grundy, of course. That forward line is looking absolutely elite. Zach Bailey, Harris, Sheasel, Petrarca, Flanders, Pickett, and Rankin. He's already finished his forward line. That midfield's going to need some work, but he's got all the big guns. Butters, Bont, Sarong has been a bit disappointing for him. That back line is also pretty insane too. So, pretty good team overall. Look, you scored 200 points more than me. Can I really criticize you? Probably not. But no, that was great. That was awesome. We'll go to Game Day Squad. By the way, they are one of our major sponsors this year. You can still join the Open League there too. And if you use the promo code NERDS, that's Game Day Squad, and you sign up using the promo code NERDS, NERDS, you do get bonus players, bonus packs, options when it comes to building your team. Just going to jump in real quickly to show you what the league code is, because I did forget it. AR0041YF is the league code, and Arrogant Frogs is still firmly in first place. So good work over there. Let's get into the rookie downgrade options. Now, I just want to bring this up. By the way, I'm going to keep making these little visuals because everyone kind of liked them. Everyone did kind of like these. Now, Patrick Rashedko, the Richmond midfielder, is an absolute must-have. Absolute must-have. He's got a negative 84 break even. 119k, has gone on to score some pretty decent scores from 74 and 82 in his first 2 games. That 82 could have been a lot bigger had he have used the footy just a little bit better. That was a 100 plus score potentially. He has West Coast this week, who bleed points to basically every line, which means whatever his name is, Rashedko, he's probably primed to have a good game and make quite a bit of coin. He is an absolute must-have, like I said. Next one is Arthur Jones, or Artie Jones, of the Western Bulldogs. 119k, 900 mid-forward, negative 31 break-even. He's listed as a test this week. Had a really poor game against Brisbane in his first game, and then popped off in his second week. Let's just go get Jones' score. Now, this is the kind of guy who I don't necessarily think we're going to make a lot of money on, but he should provide decent bench cover. Yeah, a 21 and an 82. Not amazing. Not amazing. But the 82 is his potential. Had a really good preseason, and I'm going to be honest, Bevo seems to like him. With the DPP there, you could just put him on your bench for the season. He should be pretty good. He should make maybe 100k. But I can't see him making too much more than that. If you are looking for the double downgrade, it will be these two. I wouldn't be going a Liam Reedy. I did like his score. Obviously, he did ton up on the weekend, which I'm sure everyone is aware of. He's a ruck forward, 119k, negative 67 break even, and he's got St Kilda coming up. But he did score a 31 last time they went with the dual ruck with Pitnet, and Pitnet is listed as a test, which means even if he doesn't play this week, he will play most likely next week. So you get one more decent score out of him. Yes, he'll make some bulk cash, but then will he even play against Brisbane? Maybe not when Pitnet's back. I don't love this pick at all. I know that he does offer that flexibility between your ruck and your forward line, and players with Oscar Steen currently in their forward line, and then they're trying to jump off a ZZ or an Edwards or a McAndrew in R3. Yeah, I do see the appeal there. It really depends on your team personally, but I don't love the pick. If you want that flexibility and that's why you're bringing him in, then that's definitely a lot better. But I still think Artie Jones, if he plays, is the double downgrade target. Rashedko, just bring him in. Angus Anderson, 179k, negative 30 break-even midfielder, Collingwood. Up for grabs as forward status for him is up for grabs, which is great. It's still worth jumping on. He's got a good role, a good team. A good matchup that he's about to play against. If you didn't get him last week, he still could make another 100k, so I don't hate this pick at all. He could make a bit more than 100k based on the way he's playing. The next one's Matthew Jefferson. For whatever reason, let's just say you started Liam Reedy and you went early on Patrick Rashedko, and Arthur Jones is not named this week, he's playing VFL, and you've already got Angus Anderson as well, then Matthew Jefferson is a definite fifth option, okay? But he's a key forward, his job security is shaky, and he's not going to be playing Richmond every week, okay? He did score decent last week, but that negative 25 break-even is a result of that. But, nah, I wouldn't be bringing him in. But hypothetically, like I said, Artie Jones isn't playing. Liam Reedy, you already have, for whatever reason, and Rashedko and Anderson you already have. and you still want to make a downgrade, well, I guess he is your next best option. Honestly, that's probably it. So these are the top 5. That's it. There's probably no one else really that you would bring in. But I do like these 5. I think there was one other guy. I think people are going early on Cummings as well. I'm not a fan of that, especially with Richmond's injury history. His elevated price, he's played one good game. And this is my problem with going early on players, going early on rookies. You do it once. Let's just say you go Cumming this week. Who are you going to get next week? Because Cumming is definitely the only player that I'm really remotely considering for next week. Okay? There's not much else up for grabs next week. There are a couple of players, of course, but Cumming is by far the best one. So if you've got Cumming this week and you've gone early on him, next week you're most likely going early on someone else. And the following week, because you just went early on someone else, you're going to have to go early on someone else again. You kind of get into that rhythm and it just keeps happening. It's a snowball effect and you will get caught out. It's happened to me way too many times, and it's why I refuse to go early on anyone. I'd rather just wait for that third game. It's not just because he could get dropped. I don't understand it. Uze has been so stubborn with Richmond's midfield, constantly playing dinosaurs in that midfield who, I'm going to be honest, I could probably outrun. Maybe not Taranto. But I reckon I'm faster than Prestia and Hopper. and I am nowhere near an athlete. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm sorry. That is so insulting to those two. But he's persisted with the same midfield that got us a wooden spoon in 2024 for some fucking reason. I don't know if Cumming is actually as safe as we think he is. Okay? So just don't go early on him. Bring him in next week. Get Rasheko. Get those kind of guys. Guaranteed money. Charlie Edwards is the other one. But he didn't make my top 5. He's got midfield defensive status. We've got enough defenders. We don't need him. The midfield role is okay, but we've got enough midfield defenders. The 57 and the 39, his job security is worse than Jefferson. It's why I didn't put him in the team at all. I don't love this pick, but I've seen a few teams bring him in, which I find odd. I'm just assuming that you guys have all gone early on everyone else. Moving forward, I think they're your top 5. Like I said, Rasheko, Jones, Reed, Anderson, Jefferson. Ignore everyone else. A little bit off topic. Slightly off topic. Over the last couple of weeks, I have run into people in the wild who have recognized me while I'm working, which is awesome. I never thought that would happen. That is so cool. I had 2 guys, completely different days, completely different locations, completely different scenarios, walk up randomly and just say hello. Are you that SuperCoach guy from TikTok? Could not believe it. Honestly, coolest moment ever. But then I started talking to them and they realized that, because I was at a work event, and then they told me that they didn't realize that what I did for a living. And I realized that I've never said what I do for a living here. So I thought I'd just share, just so you guys are aware, I do work as a mobile home lender. I help people with their home finance needs, not just for Westpac, but all at Westpac, because I'm a Westpac employee, obviously. I bring people to Westpac and then I manage their funds here. So if you have any home loan needs, if you want to compare, just do a rate review, or if you just wanted to just take a look and see what your borrowing capacity is, maybe you're looking at purchasing a first home or an investment property or just whatever in regards to your home loan needs, this is me. Westpac's not a sponsor, but I do help customers. I've just created this, by the way, so it's this week. It's got 30 followers, which is amazing. Peter Seros, if you type it in on Instagram, I made an Instagram, obviously available on LinkedIn too. There's a hyperlink here which allows you to actually invasively enter my calendar, my work calendar, and book me in. So if you did want to have a chat, you can have a virtual one or a face-to-face one. I'm a mobile lender, so I drive out to customers and I meet them face-to-face. I'll buy you a coffee and we can go over your home finance needs, and I'll make sure I do you a really good deal, especially if you tell me you joined through here. I'll fight tooth and nail to get you the best rate I could possibly get you. The best rate I could possibly get you. It's not going to be the best. I can't guarantee that it's going to be the best rate in Australia, but it is going to be Very, very competitive, and you get my expertise. And trust me, I'm a lot better at home lending than what I am at SuperCoach. The bar is not set very high this year, obviously, but I am a lot better at it. So there are my contact details. Go nuts. I've also left that book me link, this one here, where you can book into my calendar, in the description below. And I've also posted the Instagram link as well. So if you want to give me a follow, you can, and you can keep up to date with all just random offers that we currently have, or new ones that are coming up as well. So there you go. Now let's go back to SuperCoach. Let's move into the premiums I want to target. Now, I'm just going to go off a post that I made first. Tuke Miller, very interesting player. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about him. He shares a buy with some popular players, especially Christian Petrarca. Obviously, they play for the same team. He's had a really good start to the year, an absolutely fantastic start to the season. Okay, he's scored 100 plus 4 times out of 7 games this year. He's got a 97.4 score, but remember that most of those top scores were in times where their midfield was not there. Round 0 to 3, Matt Rowell wasn't there. Rounds 1 and then 3 to 5, Bailey Humphrey wasn't playing. Round 6, Noah Anderson wasn't playing. And then rounds 3 to 5, Christian Petrarca was not available. As you can see, the whole midfield rotated group has not been available until round 8, where he scored, round 7, where he scored an 80 and had only 2 CBAs. Even Will Graham had more CBAs than him. Will Powell has also been predominantly used in the CBA action throughout the first 6 games, moved back to halfback in round 7 when they finally had a full team. But my concern is that if there was an injury, maybe Powell goes back into more CBA time rather than Miller. We know what Miller can do, and he would definitely be a top 6 forward had he played midfield every week. But he's probably not going to do that consistently enough. Now, he is definitely good enough. He is definitely good enough to still be a top 6 forward, playing as that half-forward player, pushing into contests. Very similar to what Zach Bailey's doing this year. But his break-even is 110. His price is $490K. I don't think he's going to... Even if he goes 110 or 115 against the Giants, he's really not moving up or down in price. I just want to see another week with the whole midfield group there. If he scores well, now Hawthorn was a tough matchup, but if he scores well, I'm really, really considering him next week. At below 500K, he could be the best F6, genuinely be the best F6 come season's end. So I'm really keen. So we're doing forwards first. The other, now obviously there's some obvious ones, okay? If we go to our forward lines, let's go to players. Let's go to filter, forward line. Awesome. And we'll go with average. All right. So if we go with average, the top forward is currently in average is Christian Petrarca and Harry Sheasel and Keziah Pickett. I think they're the top 3 by far. They will be the top 3. I can't see that changing unless there's some DPP changes, which we will be going to in a minute. Zach Bailey at the moment is averaging 100.5. He has been fantastic. I can see top 6 being all over him this season. He's getting more CBA time. It has reduced a little bit with all their players coming back. But even without that, he's just been so consistent and so good. He's only really had one bad game, and that was against Melbourne where he scored 52. But, I mean, the 76 against the Dogs isn't amazing, but 115, 107, 131, 23, it's just what he can do. And they're good enough where if he's playing half forward, he should still score well enough. Shai Bolton, I don't think is going to be able to keep it up. He's averaging 100 at the moment. And yes, he is very good on his day, but he's done this to us before. He seems, or even this year, he's gone 142, 130, 142, right? Massive games. 68, 85, 69, 66. So one week he's going 142, the next week he's going 69. Just putting it out there. If you love roller coasters, Shai Bolton's your man. But the problem is you're never going to pick the right game for him. Apart from that, Tuke Miller, Justin McInerney isn't a terrible option. Jason Horn-Francis is the one that I'm really keen on. He's still below 500k. He will be just over 500k next week. He's had 3 amazing games. His last 2 have been super impressive, 119 and 112. Against Geelong last week, he was second in their CBA rotations for the midfielders behind Zach Butters. Against Hawthorn, though, he was nowhere near to be seen in their CBA rotation, just so you're aware. So I don't love his role because there'll be certain opponents he just gets stuck in the forward line all day, and there'll be other opponents where he's getting that rotation. That's where he scores his best footy, but he's so good up forward too. His upcoming draw, Adelaide and the Dogs, are actually quite tough. So you could hold off on the Jason Horn-Francis. I'm actually personally holding off myself. Flanders, I just don't see him being a top 6 anymore. I really don't. He will be a luxury trade later. The other one is Josh Rochelle. I thought that he would, but his role just didn't look great over the week. His last 2 games have been really poor. And that has been the massive reason behind that is Isaac Rankin, who I am actually very keen on. Since he's been back, his time on ground has crept up. He's got 434k. He's still going to be around the 550k mark next week. I just want to see another good game from him. The 34 was disgusting. 67's average, but he scored 103 against Carlton. The 69 was a bit odd, and then the 96 against Brisbane was impressive. He's got Port Adelaide this week. He does like a showdown. If he can go 95 plus, I'm very interested for when he goes against Richmond and North Melbourne the following weeks. I also want to show you his post-bye. So after round 12, he's got Geelong, which is tough, and the Dogs, which is tough. But then, holy shit, does it open up. Melbourne, Port, West Coast, Gold Coast, Sydney's tough, but then Collingwood, Essendon, Richmond, Freo, the Giants. Massive. He could average 105, 110 in just those last 10 games. Okay? He really could. I'm super keen. Super keen at that price range. And does he go well against Port Adelaide this week? It's probably the guy I'm bringing in next week. Apart from that, I don't really like anyone else in the forward line. They're your options. The ruck line is simple. Max Gawn, Luke Jackson, Tristan Cherry, Brodie Grundy. You want 2 of those 4 players. That's it. Let's just don't even consider anyone else. Just they're the 4 you want. The midfield, we're going to have some great options very soon. Okay, like I mentioned before, Finn Callahan is absolutely bleeding cash. The other one is Noah Anderson, who I can't stand. Another amazing starting pick from me. 138 break even, 510. He's projected to drop 20k, which means he'll be 490k-ish next week. Caleb Sarong is the other one. He's already 507k with a 130 break even. He's expected to drop 15k-ish, which will put him at 490k-ish as well. Matt Rowell, 564k with a break even of 163. In 2 weeks' time, he's going to be around that 480, 490k mark. Remember last year where he got to about 470k and then absolutely killed it for the remaining of the season and won the Brownlow? Could happen again. And then, lastly, actually, Bontempelli's break even is 160 as well. He's projected to drop another 20k. He'll be a little bit more expensive, around that 580k mark. But still, that's about where he's bottoming out, which means you could be getting a Bontempelli for under 600k, while the rest of us paid over 7. So he is also super cheap. For a Bontempelli-like player, that is very cheap. There's a lot of people talking about Hugh McCluggage. I don't mind the pick. He's 498k. His break even is 163. He's playing Essendon this week. Could go big. Scored an 85 last week, but I just want to point out that he was on about 80 points really late in that game, like 3/4 time, and then just didn't add to that. His first half was incredible, and then I think he scored about 70 points in the first half, and then scored 15 for the rest of the game. He only played about 56% a game, from memory. His CBAs were there, but Fagan has said publicly that those CBAs will reduce. He will go back to the wing when Berry is back. Berry's back in the next couple of weeks, and his time on ground is still terrible. That 85 includes two goals, which he won't score every week. I'm not sold on this pick. Do see what he does next week this week against Essendon, but I'm really just not sold. I think, yes, he is definitely a bargain buy. I understand why you would go for him, but if you don't have a Callaghan especially, I think Callaghan is going to start to really kick off from this point forward. A Sarong, a Anderson, a Rao, I rate those guys higher than McCluggage as a pick because of that wing role. Actually, you know what? I'd pick McCluggage over Noah Anderson at the moment. I take it back. But the other three, I would say, should be on your priority list ahead of a Hugh McCluggage. The last one is Josh Dunkley. And I just want to talk about Josh Dunkley because he had a really good game on the weekend. He scored 104. It didn't replicate in scoring, and he has been definitely down after a very interrupted preseason with that shoulder. He's starting to get more CBA time. He's starting to get more time on ground in general. I just see that run towards the end of the year that they have, like after their bye, they've got the round 12 bye. No, they don't. Round 15 bye, sorry. After that point, is it round 15 bye? 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so round 15 bye. After that point, they got Sydney and Geelong, which were a little bit tough, but Essendon, West Coast, Port, Carlton, Hawthorn's tough, Gold Coast and Collingwood. This is around the time you want to own Brisbane players. Okay, and Josh Dunkley at that price is very, very, very tempting. 89 break even, so if he scores well this week, even if he goes 100, he's only going to make approximately $5,000 on top of his score, so he's still going to be below 500k next week. He is the one that I like a little bit more than a Hugh McCluggage. If I was to jump on one of them, it would be him, purely because I think the role is better, which means that the fluctuating scores will be less frequent. Just kind of keep an eye on both of them this week. They're both really good options. Moving on to the back line, I'm personally bringing in a Lockie Whitfield. So I'm going to show you what my trades are. So Tanner Bruin, Lockie McAndrew. Now, yes, both of those players you could hold on to. Bruin's got a couple of decent games coming up. Let's just go in. He's got North Melbourne first, so should score well against them. Then Collingwood and Brisbane, who he could score quite well against. All three can leak points to halfbacks. He's also got Lockie McAndrew, who again you could argue is off a little bit early. Port Adelaide and Richmond in his next two. He should score quite well against the Tigers at the MCG. But I just want to use that cash to get in a defender that I've been trying to get for the last couple of weeks. I could see him being a top 6 and therefore in a priority. He's still below 600k. $559,000 is a bargain price for someone as good as him. And then Patrick Pacheco obviously is an absolute must-have. His next three are Gold Coast, Essendon and West Coast. Okay. His last 4 games, this is where he's really started to get into gear. 128, 102, 115, 123. I just want to point out that 102 game, it looked like he wasn't even going to score 80 at halftime. He just had a massive second half. But Gold Coast, Essendon, West Coast, Brisbane, Melbourne, St Kilda is a tag probably towards Finn Callaghan, and they bleed points to halfbacks. Carlton bleed points to halfbacks. The Hawthorn matchup is probably a down game, but then Fremantle is easier. Geelong is tough. Essendon, Sydney's tough. Port Adelaide, Gold Coast, West Coast. Absolutely amazing games. And Adelaide can be a bit of a 50-50 contest. So, as you can see, I just think that he, for the run home, is an absolute must-have. And that is why I am bringing him in. The other one is Lockie Ash. He is also below 550k. 541,000 with a break-even of 146. He's projected to drop almost 19k, or he's projected to drop 18k, which will get him at around the 520k mark next week. Again, same draw, obviously. His last 2 have been a bit meh, but his first 5, well, not opening round, but the those 4 games between rounds 1 and 5, he's gone 136, 130, 106, and 106. So he's probably going to be pushing for that top 6 role as well. Both Whitfield and Ash are, I would be buying one of them this week. And then, honestly, I'd be trying to get the other one in as quick as possible before that West Coast game. I really would love to have both of them in my team before that game. Roberts is still below 600k. I'd be jumping on him. Jack Sinclair is another one, $554,000. Break even 117. He probably hovers around this price for a little bit, but Carlton, Gold Coast, Richmond in his next 3. Whew. Juicy. But that also means that Messiah, Wanganeen, Malera is another one. 568k, 121 break even. I don't love this pick right now, and there's a reason for that. I just want to show you who he's gone massive against. 122 against the Giants, 136 against Port, 149 against West Coast. And they're the only games really worth talking about. All of those games are teams that are struggling. GWS with injuries, Port Adelaide in general, and West Coast in general. Against tougher matchups like Collingwood a 63, Melbourne's been quite good much improved this season, an 88. Brisbane a 99 is actually a decent score, and then 70 from Adelaide. As you can see, he's just kind of beating down on the poor teams, and kind of just not really doing much against the better teams. And I think that unfortunately at the moment with this role where he is a primary ball mover and he's the first targeted player, maybe he just keeps copping that attention from opposition, and I just don't love it. He should be pushing top 6, top 8 at a minimum. So I do like bringing him in, especially after his next 3, because his next 3 he should go big against. But I think that Whitfield and Ash are higher priorities. Sinclair averaging 113.4 is, I think, a higher priority as well. Nas is probably 4th, honestly, 4th out of these players. I would be bringing him. I would say he's the 4th best defender to bring in. I just want to point out that Wilkie, I wish I did it. 569k, 114 break even. He's been brilliant. Obviously, he's got the same draw as Sinclair and Naz. But he has not dropped below 100, 104, 114, 129, 102, 125, 121, 105. I know people are saying that he's going through a purple patch, but that is 7 games of absolute brilliance. Okay? He was 500k flat at the start of the season. He's got the same draw as the other 3, the other 2. Could we potentially have all of Callum Wilkie, Sinclair, and Naz in our defensive lines by season's end? Maybe. Maybe I finish my defense with... No, how would I do that? Because I want Ash. I'll probably go... At the moment, Ash and Wilkie do look pretty good. But yeah, so just keep an eye out on him. I don't love the price. He is probably going to have a down game at some point. It will not be against these 3, and he'll never be tagged. Sinclair and Naz will be tagged well before Actually, Wilkie's just not going to be tagged, okay? So they're the kind of guys that you could bring in potentially if you want a point of difference. Despite his amazing form, he's still relatively lowly owned. And honestly, I don't hate the option at all. Now, we've got some DPP updates, which I'll just touch on in just a minute. Or now, really. What is this? No, I don't want that. Right, so Stoby posted this, and this is as per code sports. Alright, I'm just going back to the post. What did I do? Okay, so Max Holmes is 34% defensive status at the moment, so he's only 1% away from really potentially taking that defensive status on. Why can't I just view this without... I'm just gonna just let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go to my Facebook, because I don't know what's going on. So yeah, Max Holmes, 34% defensive status. He should get defensive status, which will actually make him a must-have defender as well. I'm picking him ahead of Naz personally. Ooh, it's going to be hard to fit all these defenders in, honestly. If he gets defensive status, huge. Angus Anderson, 30% forward at the moment, needs to just tick that box a little bit higher, but could get forward status, which would give us some flexibility. Zach Merrett, 33%. That is huge. If he gets forward status, he is the most must-have forward in the competition. I know that we've already got Petrarca and we've already got Sheasel and Pickett. I'd be putting Merrett in that top. That top four would be just so much better. Jaeger Smith, 34% forward, should get it, or Jaeger Smith. Tanner Bruins had 37% defensive status, so he should get it too. Marcus Bontempelli's at 20% forward status. Probably won't reach it, but honestly, we can dream. Did get forward status in 2022, so we still sit here and hope. And Milan Murdoch, 77% forward status at the moment. He's going to pretty much get that. That's really locked in. Now, let's go back to, not that one, question time. And we didn't have any questions on Instagram, but let's go take a look at if we got any questions on Facebook. We do. We have a couple of questions on Facebook. Oh, let's see. We've got Sam George. Can you please share your thoughts on Brett Daniels? I'm really thinking about putting him in this week. I don't love the pick on Brett Daniels. Let's take a look. I believe he's 300k flat. He is negative 16 break even. Let's go down. He's got a good draw coming up with Gold Coast, Essendon, West Coast. I know we've just gone through Lockie Ash and Whitfield and Callaghan. He plays for the same team, okay? But he's got 81 against Richmond and 114 against North Melbourne. He is getting CBAs and he's also having an impact up forward. I just really don't. He is absolutely injury prone. Yes, his ceiling is huge, but I just don't see him pushing for top 6 or even top 8 at all, personally. And I honestly think you're bringing in a guy that is most likely you're going to have a trade out again as well. So it's not really it's a no from me. Honestly, it's just a no from me. Jesse Farr, and again, he's got that annoying buy as well. I think these other guys, you're going to want guys like Whitfield, Ash and Callaghan in your team, especially Callaghan, who's dropping so much cash at the moment. I just don't love the pick. And even as a stepping stone, he gets injured. He could get injured this week and he's only made 45k for you. Okay, I just really don't love it. I really don't love it. He's got the same sort of injury history as an Adam Treloar, but Treloar has at least the points behind him. He can score massive. So I prefer, if you're shopping around that price range, I prefer waiting another week for Treloar. Newcomb or Neil, Jesse Farley. This is an interesting one. Hawthorn typically don't have a very SuperCoach friendly kind of game style. And it's why we don't see a lot of primos at the Hawks from the Hawks. 63 in opening round, 104, 103 in his next two, the 87, but then 112, 125 and 136. He does go on purple patches and then he somehow does seem to disappoint us. I didn't realise how good of a finish to the year he has though. So after he has a bye in round, round 14, he goes Gold Coast, the Giants, Melbourne, Carlton, Richmond, Essendon, North, Brisbane, Collingwood, West Coast. I actually really like that run home. That is really good. And then you've got Neil, 569k. So he's a bit more expensive. He's definitely copping a tag against Geelong. His run home isn't as good. Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. Newcomb. I reckon Newcomb. Do it. Have the point of difference. His final 10 games look like they're going to be absolutely fantastic. Just get Newcomb. Actually, now I'm considering Newcomb. That was a really good run home. Which also means that Sicily is an option too now. Do I want Newcomb? Do I just take a Hail Mary? Maybe I do. Something to ponder over. Definitely something to ponder over. Let's go to Twitter now and take a quick look and let's see what we have here when it comes to questions. How many things have I posted this week? Oh, nothing on Twitter. Oh, it's a first. That's a first. That's a bit depressing. But that's okay. We will continue next week when I ask you guys again what questions you have. Feel free to DM me if you do want to have a chat, run over scenarios. I will take a look at that. But thanks guys for watching. Good luck with your weeks. Back same time, same place next week. Please make sure to subscribe and like the channel as well. I'll have the captain video later on in the week. Thank you.